Shropshire Sarracenias, 9th of June 2021. This is the Flytrap collection house. So I don't often make videos about the Flytraps, but I just wanted to show you what's going on. So these are B52s in 15 centimetre square pots, just to let them grow. And the technique I'm using at the moment, sadly my peat-free mix didn't quite work. So this is 50% sphagnum moss underneath and 50% moss peat on top. And the advantage is that the moss does not form on the top of the peat, so you can grow it 3 or 4 seasons. And year 2, this doesn't look too bad. Okay, moving on. There are other carnivorous plants. These Shropshire forms, dichotomer, T4 multifider, altogether looks pretty effective. And gives a lot of fun this time of year before they go all tatty. And this is in a tray. This is root cuttings which are developing Drosera regias. It's actually better than my mother plants. Moving swiftly on, Drosera capensis broadleaf and crestate forms. Don't see much evidence of the broadleafs getting broad yet, but there's one. But the crestate version is beginning to do its branchy thing. This is a pure sphagnum moss trial of a giant Flytrap. This is in a 13 centimetre square pot, so you get an idea for scale. And then here are some other ones. This is Marston giant in the 15 centimetre square pot, with royal red just behind it, and another Marston giant. Now the fun bit, you wonder where the Sarracenias are. This is the part of the breeding program, so these are last year's germinations, which I will now begin to pick out the best, or the largest, most vigorous seedlings. There's a few there standing a little bit tall there, which I'll select out, and then some new Flytraps, and then the really fun bit, more Sarracenias. These are the ones I potted up while I was on furlough from my normal day job last year. There's about 330 seedlings here, but of note, if I move on there, the favourite bits. This is Timothy Cream Crossed H225, so 2 very pink plants. And as you can see, there's some really promising individuals, definite influence with the white lid from L131 coming through, but it's also got a dark throat patch. This is also very nice, as is this, and not to be outdone, I have crossed some with Adrian Slack. It's a little bit more veiny, and there's one in particular that's really standing out there. Is this one here, as you can see. So I have to see how that matures as things progress. So a lot of promise, and I just really need to see how these developed. Just going outside a little bit further. This is one of the outstanding seedlings. Sorry about the view of the pipe in there, but this has got a really nice rim. That's standing twice as the height of its neighbour plants. And this is a Praetorian Guard, focus on there with cross with Leah Wilkerson. Nothing like Leah Wilkerson, but hopefully as both plants grow big, they'll actually produce large pitchers too. And similarly, this has got a nice sort of pointy lid. And this one actually started off with a more vibrant pink, but it's darkening up like its Praetorian Guard does after a while. Now, moving on further, Drosera binata, dichotomer, and then really this is what it's about. It's a scale. This bench is 80 centimetres wide. So, and the most of the plants are potted in 11 centimetre square pots. Again, using this technique, 50% sphagnum at the bottom and peat on top. So, starting with Spider, Southwest Giant. These ones I've potted this year, and they're just beginning to bounce back from being disturbed only a few weeks ago. This bit of mess here is giant trap erect form. This has got very long petioles, but the traps can grow up to about 2 inches long on this one. And then here's a underrated plant, but this is extreme curve traps from Eric Serber. And again, just pushing out its long PTLs, DM70. And this is Redline CK. This is not to be confused with the other red line, but this produces a yellow trap with a red line on the nectar gland area underneath the cilia. Sorry, I wobble a little bit, avoiding something on the floor. Okay, so this is Switzerland giant. This is pretty large in its 11 centimetre square pot. And going back, there's a nice Southwest giant time sawtooth. This is more or less following number order. There's a Beastie Boy. Now that's an interesting one. This is DM 157. This is my 1979 clone crossed with Southwest giant. So it's got, you can definitely see the characteristics of both plants in the trap. And there's one from Germany. This is a predator producing very large traps, and some of them are fused. There's I can't see it there, but there's a Wyvale plant. Sometimes Wyvale has some interesting plants, as they're all coming from tissue culture, has fused teeth. It's just there nesting underneath the big trap, that it will come back in size. Now, moving back, these are typicals and some selections I haven't even put on the grow list yet. I like large yellow plants. This is Oxford Road 20. This is a location plant from Florida originally. Can't remember how I got it, but it's I like the big green verticals. Now these are trays. This is all royal red in here. This is for the flower shows. And this is a DM 20, the G12 all green form. And there's another batch of the extreme curve trap one, DM70 again. But the real steal of the show is this monster. This is in a 13 centimetre square pot. I hope I don't get too much camera shake. But I think this is physically one of the largest Flytrap clones out there. This is one of the Southwest giant plants crossed with something else, and it's massive. The PTLs are a good 6 inches long, and the traps are a solid 2 inches long. It just about dwarfs everything else. I'll just show you it on a different angle. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much.